What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Razy Podcast. This is your host, Cristopher Zamora. Welcome to the show. So today, guys, I want to speak to you about the movie called Weapons. It has finally been released, and I gotta say, this movie has its ups and downs for me, to be honest. As of right now, this movie on Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 94% from the critics side, right? And 86% from the audience side. This movie, when I first saw the trailer, I was really intrigued. Like, I was so surprised how unique this movie was going to be. And even like the scary scenes that they showed for this film, they look crazy. Like, it looked legit scary. And so I was a bit like skeptical because there has been like just some films that they have shown like most of the horror scenes in the trailer, and I gotta say, this movie was one of those films that I feel like they spoiled almost every single big scary scene. There was a couple that they didn't show, but like most of the good ones, like that Asian man when he was chasing a girl on the store, they should have saved that scene for the movie, like when you actually go see the film. I think like probably that was the best scene that they might have had for this film. And yeah, man, without that scene, I feel like maybe not a lot of people would have been intrigued and actually watching this film. And also that one scene when the mom, or it was a little girl or whatever, she just like poked her head on the door and like she was just screaming. Yeah, that scene as well was like creepy. Those were like one of the best scenes from the film. And like overall, the movie, like I said, it had a unique storyline, but there was just some unanswered questions that you wish that they answered for this film. The main point of this film was that someone or something took these kids and they just disappeared out of nowhere, right? And so you're wondering where they went, who or what took them, and why. Why did this person took these kids? So like it did answer who it was who was taking these kids away from their parents. Like, why they disappeared in the middle of the night and they just started running. So they just started running towards this house. It was a calling from a lady. Alex, the little boy's aunt. I forgot her name. Yeah. The aunt's name, I believe it was Gladys. Yeah, I guess so. That was her name. Gladys Lily. So Gladys, I believe, was the one person who took the kids to this house. Well, it was actually Alex's house, and Gladys actually took his parents and put them on a spell. Well, the spell, it comes from a tree. Like she just like breaks some branches and like somehow she just casts a spell. And so the thing is, how she got those kids. Well, she told Alex that he needed to go get like some object that belonged from the kids to her. And so that's what he did, or else she would have heard his parents. And so Alex did not want that to happen. And so he gave her those papers so she can use the spell. And like, yes, it was intriguing how like the whole spell thing worked, but it didn't really explain like why she took them at the ending. Because at the ending of the film, she actually did lose. She actually got murdered. She got murdered by these kids at the ending because Alex finally used the spell against her. And so that's how she actually lost. She died in the film, and I thought like maybe the kids were all going to go back to normal, but like some of them actually did, but like some of them actually stayed the same. after like she actually died, which was crazy because it was like very weird. And let's not just talk about Alex and Gladys. Let's also talk about the other two main characters. The lady with the glasses. I believe she is the main character of this film. Her name is Justine Gandy. She is the teacher, and she was wondering where these kids went as well because it was her whole class that disappeared, other than Alex, which was the kid that was with Aunt Gladys. She was wondering where these kids went this whole time, and she was able to find them. There was also a dad named Archer. He was looking for his son this whole time, and he was one of the students that actually disappeared as well. His son disappeared. So he was trying to find them, and they were able to find them at the ending. But like, let's just talk about like the structure of the whole movie. This movie breaks everything into different parts. Like you get different points of view of how things happen in a certain day. There was just some characters, I believe, like the cop and also the kid who was on drugs. I feel like those two characters, I feel like it was kind of a waste of time, you know? Like just looking at their point of view. I know that the kid, the drug kid, he was the one who found the kids at the ending. But like most of their just storyline, I feel like it was just filler. That was like the main issue I had for this film. Like it could have been cut shorter, but the movie was actually 2 hours long, and that was crazy. And also, I feel like this movie was super long. I don't know, I feel like it was dragging way too long. And it should have been shorter, like 30 minutes shorter at least. Yeah. And also, the Asian man that we got to see in the trailers, his name is Marcus, Mr. Marcus. He was his principal. And he also got the spell on him because of Aunt Gladys. She went inside his home and she was able to control him. And the thing is, she got like a strand of hair from Justine Gandy, from Miss Gandy, right? And she like somehow attached that hair into that tree thing or whatever. And that's how Marcus was able to go after Justine Gandy. She was able to find her. And that's where that scene came in. The one where she was running away from him in the gas station. Yeah, I feel like that was the best scene of the whole film. And also like the kids just running around the neighborhood. Now that we actually got to see like just kids running around the neighborhood like that, you know, it'll be scarier now because like maybe like during the Halloween time, you know, people will start doing that. And people like who have like cameras in the front door, maybe they were able to see something like that as well. Like just random kids just running past the camera. Yeah, that'd be crazy, you know. But yeah, now we got something like that now for the movie Weapons. Overall, I had to give this film a 6 out of 10. Hey, it wasn't a bad film, but it wasn't the best either. And at the ending, we got to see like a triangle shape, a blue triangle shape once the credits were rolling, right? This gives me an idea that probably they are going to continue this story with a sequel or a prequel. I actually saw a tweet just a few days ago about this movie Weapons. It has gotten great reviews overall, but they're actually gonna go deeper with Aunt Gladys' character. So like it says right here, Warner Brothers is in talks to develop a prequel to Weapons exploring the origins of Aunt Gladys. It kind of does make sense because there were just like some questions that I had for the film, and they probably might have done that on purpose because they don't want to give all the answers in one film. Maybe that was the whole point of the whole film. It was just to intrigue you on what was happening in this movie, and the prequel is going to answer all your questions. Maybe that was their idea for this film. Hey, this movie got a 38 million budget, and as of right now, Zack Krager's Weapons crosses 100 million at the global box office. And it's been around a couple of days since that happened, which is awesome for this film because horror, man. Horror movies are probably making a huge comeback, to be honest. Like, probably almost every 2 to 3 years, there's always like great horror movies that come out all at once. Like, I remember back in 2022, Smile came out, Terrifier 2 came out as well, and some other horror films I can't remember. But I do remember that was a great year for horror, and it was a great year for the fans as well. Now, 2025, we have gotten great movies as well. I still haven't seen the movie Companion, but it is one of those films that people have liked for this year in horror. Also, that a werewolf movie, the movie Together, Weapons, some other horror movies as well. And it's great that horror is probably going to make a huge comeback, maybe in the next decade or so, or maybe later on in this decade. We will see, man, because horror, man, you gotta love it. It wasn't my favorite of the year. Definitely not my favorite, but it is up there for its uniqueness, and it was interesting plots, but like I feel like it was dragging a bit too long. They should have cut it a little bit shorter. That's just my opinion of what I thought about the film. And like, speaking of horror news, Regina Hall and Anna Faris are set to return for Scary Movie 6, according to Deadline reports. That's awesome because without these two, I feel like the Scary Movie franchise would not have done so well. We need Cindy and Brenda's character, for these movies. It just makes sense having these two, and also Shorty and and Ray. We need those four characters in the film, and it's awesome that they're actually coming back for Scary Movie 6. Yeah, if you guys did not know, Scary Movie 6 is actually gonna come out next year, and I'm excited to actually see it, man. I'm excited. What are they gonna come up with now with these brand new horror movies? Like Megan, the Terrifier movie. Maybe that guy from Longlegs is going to make a cameo in the movie. We'll see how that goes, man. But we did need a new Scary Movie 6. And the good thing is that the Wayans brothers, they're coming back with it because they did left after Scary Movie 2 and they never actually came back. So it's awesome that they're gonna come back and play these characters. Well, I'm hoping that they are. I know that they're going to be directing the movie, but Shorty's character or Ray's character, I hope so. Cindy and Brenda, yeah, that's a must, man. We need those characters. But it's awesome that Scary Movie 6 is actually happening, man. In 2026, it's been so long since we had another scary movie. I didn't quite remember what was the year that Scary Movie 5 came out, but I feel like that one didn't do so well. Scary Movie 4 was pretty funny, but like my favorite one has got to be Scary Movie 3. I just feel like it was just too hilarious, man. I did remember Scary Movie 2. It did kind of scare me because of the freaking clown. When I was young, I was scared of clowns, man. I just didn't like how they look. And that movie, like, when that clown came out, I was afraid. I was just covering my eyes. But I grew out of it, and I just enjoy almost every single part of horror. Except, like, body horror. I feel like that's probably my weakness, body horror. Eesh, that was so crazy. Together, I feel like it was the best movie so far that I have seen in horror of this year. But it kind of actually made me not actually scared of body horror as much. Just a little bit, but because it didn't quite show a lot of blood with the body horror. But maybe the next body horror film I'll see, I'll probably might not be too scared of it, you know. I keep forgetting that the Conjuring movie is actually gonna come out in September. Yeah, that's another scary movie that's gonna come out very soon on September. The Conjuring and the movie called Ham, the one with one of the Wayans brothers. He's gonna be in it as well. Yeah, man, there's been a lot of great horror movies coming out this year, and I hope they keep on continuing making movies like these. You know. And yeah, man, that's all I can really tell you for this movie. I give this movie a 6 out of 10. What do you guys give it? I just recommend it to watch this movie just one time. But if you are a huge fan of it, then watch it as many times as you want. For me, it was just a one time watch. And I'm sure they are going to continue on with this storyline. This is not going to be the only film for weapons. I guarantee you. There's going to be a prequel. And there's definitely going to be a continuation from the story. I believe so. And yeah, guys, that is it for this podcast. Hey, thank you so much for listening. If you guys did enjoy this podcast, make sure to follow it on whichever platform you are listening to it. If you are listening to it on Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, make sure to follow it and also recommend this podcast to a friend or a neighbor that actually likes listening to stuff about horror stuff. Maybe they will enjoy this podcast as much as you do. And yeah, guys, that is it. Take care and live to the fullest. Bye.